So I personally don't know where this footage is going to fit into the video, but I'm currently at my office right now, and it is 8:01 a.m. on Saturday. As you can see, I have the boxes from my exhaust, some Amazon stuff I bought for my Florida trip, and overall my office is so messy right now. I just have stuff everywhere. I have to take that desk apart and then move some stuff around in here, but the biggest thing for me right now is this office is no longer going to be mine right here. I am currently going to get rid of everything in here, and I'm putting something very special in here. So I have a delivery today around 12. I have to go get cash from the bank, and then I have to clear out this office to make space for it. I got to put that desk out here to make it work with two people that work right here. I have one guy in here, so I could move another one in there, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm gonna get to work on that. I have to work right now, and then I'll come back in about 3 hours and take care of all this stuff. Let's just move everything from here into that room. Let's go. Boom. There's a brand new table right here. This is a professional grade, super heavy duty conference table for like a big office. I wanted the space to have this set up to be able to have 6 people if we needed it, but most likely just 4. Nice smooth surface, brand new table. This was a little expensive. This is an investment that I'm happy to make, and everything else that's coming with it is like double the price. So you have to make investments sometimes. I have a couple things on the walls that I want to move around just because this table is going to serve as a community place for all my friends and people that come by. And I want the background to be a little bit different. We're gonna change all this stuff in a couple minutes. And here's the front room. I got a vacuum, I gotta do wire management there. Parker right here, George right there, got Daniel right here. All kind of relatively in the same space. Gives us the more of like a teamwork area, which I like. I'm also waiting for, I'd say at least 10 packages to show up, maybe 15 packages. Make it like super dramatic.
The gloves are killing me.
Dude.
The table.
They look really cool though. This is all trash from the 2 chairs and like 3 other things.
Oh, is it just one brightness setting?
Yeah, I think it just has one setting on it.
Easy, man. Oh, so now that goes on.
Whoa. Just finished up like the podcast room, and I'm like covered in glue, and I'm super tired, but it was awesome. It turned out great. 2.5 years into building my agency and doing a bunch of new clients this month in August, a bunch of new SEO stuff, tons of new projects, YouTube videos. Just feeling thankful. Building businesses is fun. I'm really happy in life right now. It's really hard, but I'm enjoying it.
Take off the plastic.
Installation. Mount the magnetic center cover.
And here it is. This is the front of the office, and this is my social media agency where we do online marketing for companies. And also, you may not be able to recognize or tell, but that whole room right there, those windows are blacked out by bed sheets. That's the podcast room. I'm going to show you guys right now. So let me show you how it looks.
So you can see behind me, this is super trippy. This is actually just bed sheets. These windows were floor to ceiling, so I covered them. So this is my podcast room. This is the whole new setup that I decided to make my my private office that I used to have in here that was just me. This is actually where we do podcasting now. So I want to give you guys a full tour and breakdown of all the stuff that you see here and how I set it up, the pricing, and also how you guys can set it up for a way cheaper price, but still produce pretty much the same quality. I want to go over literally everything top to bottom. So beyond all the fancy editing video, cinematic stuff I just did, I want to actually show you the entire breakdown and the reasoning why I chose the products that I did, and also talk a bit more about the room and the setup that I chose, just so it can hopefully help you start a podcast. Just right off the bat, this is a very expensive setup. You don't have to do something as crazy as this. There's great systems out there for much less. This is just a setup I wanted because I have 4 people that are employed on my team and that I want to be able to talk on the show. Plus, when I have guests over, I want to be able to be either just me or have 4 people, even 5 if we really wanted to, and that's why I went with this setup. So let's get the obvious thing out of the way. These cushions or sound absorbing boards, whatever you want to call them, I call them cushions because they feel really cool to press. I know on video you can't get across, but think about like a really soft styrofoam piece of styrofoam. That's what this whole entire room feels like, or at least the majority of it. These are off Amazon, and you can get like a section, or you can get, I think it's 12 per pack for a really good price. I'll put a screenshot right here of the pricing and how everything breaks down and how much they are. And the cool thing is you can actually buy as much as you want. They come in packs of whatever, and also there's tons of colors you can choose from. I almost did like burgundy, but I like blue. It's my favorite color. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with blue and black. Then the second thing is this table. I actually bought this on Craigslist. I found a furniture store that does like wholesale office furniture, and this is a conference table. It is really, really, really heavy duty. This works great for our Monday morning meetings that we have with our team, and also for the podcast, obviously. So this is a great table that I'm pretty happy with, and I like the color. It has a really cool contrast to it. One of the hardest parts that I had when I originally started making this podcast or thinking about it was finding a table that was big enough to fit 4 people comfortably, plus the microphones and how I wanted it to. So I just looked up furniture on Craigslist. I found this, and a little bit expensive, but the look of it paid off, and this can be used for multiple purposes, which I like, and I want to keep this one for a long time. The next thing is these chairs. I've had so many people on Instagram and Facebook ask me, what chairs are those? How'd you get those? Where'd you get them? How much were they? And these are actually $59 a piece. We bought 4 of these and we built them here. Really easy to build, only took about 10 minutes per chair, and they're just Amazon chairs. They're super cheap. You can find the link below to the actual chair itself if you want to grab one. These are good for even just office use, but I wanted to have something that would match and be uniform in all the videos for the podcast. So far we've used them a lot, and they don't really have much wear. They have plenty of support. They feel great. They look cool. They look like spaceship chairs. You can see through it. They're ventilated, so you don't like sweat or anything. They keep you really cool. So those are the chairs I picked up for those. Now for these actual lights here, the ones here are yellow, so when you make videos, the yellow light does not look good on your guests. So I did these lights that came off of Amazon. They're just like simple, normal stand-up lights that literally I think these lights were pretty cheap. I'll put a screenshot right here, but they have one setting. You plug them in, you put in a light bulb. This is what they look like on the inside. Just one big light bulb and then pretty much a big diffuser that goes over it, so the lighting's softer on people when they're right there on video. And I got 2 of them. I was gonna do 3, but when you have a camera like this, EOS R with a good lens, these things do fine in low light. So this is the actual piece of the puzzle that holds everything together. This is where all of your microphones go into, all your headphones, and your computer, and the power supply. So everything runs through this machine right here, which is called the Rodecaster Pro. This is something I bought online, and I didn't know much about it, but you can see it has 4 inputs. It can pretty much do anything you want. It has these cool little things that you can program to make different sounds, which are super funny in podcasts. You have headphone adjustment. When you plug it in, you can just press record, and it's good to go. You record everything, and then you have all your volumes right here, and you can see as I talk into a microphone or louder and louder, it actually picks up each microphone so you know who's actually talking. One cool thing too is that you have Bluetooth on here, so you can actually record a phone call. So if somebody calls in, you can record them talking as you actually have your podcast going. So that's really cool too, and this is your adjustment volume for when you press like a sound effect. And then it's pretty self-explanatory. It's very, very easy to use. It's one of the best systems I've ever seen. You can see all the plugs on the back. All you do is press power on and off. And the cool thing is too about this is actually a touch screen. So if you press a button, you can go through here and you can kind of choose. You have like a setup here and you can choose the voice, and it gives you all these different options. And it's honestly, being touchscreen, it's super legit. So this makes life easier, because when you look at podcast equipment, it's usually really difficult. There's all these wires everywhere. This thing, all you do is you straight up open the box, you plug in all the stuff, it explains everything on the back, and there's instructions in here. And yeah, that's why I was like, you know what? This is a good setup. I'm going to go with it. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about is actually these microphones. These are very, very, very good quality microphones. So these are the Shure SM7B. That's just a fancy word for being really, really good. The main reason why I chose this one is mostly because I've seen this on almost every other podcast that is out there that's high quality, and I know Joe Rogan uses the same one, and all the big podcasters, and a lot of Gary Vee videos that I watch when he does interviews or podcasts. This is like the go-to. This has a really good like pop filter on it, so when you say like sharp words with a P, it doesn't overload the audio, it's not too loud, and you can plug in right here and you run your wires through these arms here, which these are just cheap arms I got that came with like a package. You can use any kind of microphone arm. You don't have to have the arms. You could actually have a stand that would sit here and have the microphone that sticks out. One thing too is I was actually going to run these arms on the side of the table, because when you sit here, you actually look directly across to the person and all this stuff is in the way. But the tough part is I don't really have much of an option, only because these are too thick here to actually fit the clamp. So I fit it here and it does the job. The cool thing is too is that when you're sitting here, you can kind of move it around, you can make it go at different angles. Literally, it's 10 times easier when you have an arm that moves just freely like this, so you can have more adjustability during your podcast. You can see it's just super easy. But these arms, you can get anywhere. They have nice ones from Rode that are super expensive, but these ones came with the pack that I bought. Here's a box for it. I mean, I got these off of a website that pretty much I paid retail for, but these are the highest quality you can really get. SM7B from Shure. And yeah, so far they're really, really good. What I'll do right now too is I'll insert a clip of what they sound like from the last podcast I did, just so you can hear what they sound like.
Which is 60 posts per day per person. We were working from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Out of my living room. And we were like, bro, we need help terribly. So you found me through an Instagram story, right?
Through your Instagram story. I was actually living here already, but I went back home to visit.
Next thing we'll talk about are these Audio Technica headphones. These are super good quality. I don't know if they're noise canceling or not, but they're very, very comfortable on your ear, and they have plenty of adjustability to fit pretty much any sized head. And you can see here, this is an ATX M20X, whatever that means. Oh, ATH M20X. Professional headphones. I know Audio Technica is a really good brand, and I trust them. I've seen reviews online, and they were pretty reasonably priced. All you do is you run them into the back of the Rodecaster right there. They're numbered, and then you kind of assign which ones you want to be which, and it's super easy to set up. Hang them over the microphone and call it a day. Nothing too fancy. They work great. Now, when you purchase the Shure microphones, they actually come with this pop filter too, which is just a different design. I don't really care too much for it. It's not the same, but you can just choose based on style. I may switch them out one day, but every microphone that you buy, every Shure microphone you buy comes with a pop filter that's shaped like this too. Just to finish out a couple small things, I use this Scotch 3M multi-purpose adhesive spray to get all these to stick on the wall. I originally did double-sided tape, and that did not work one bit. So I used adhesive. Now, as far as videos go, I typically will mount my camera to a tripod. Tripods don't really matter that much when they sit still all day. The main thing for me is that it had a little bit of adjustability for either 2 people or 4 people. Move it closer for 2, further away for 4. We kind of move stuff out of the way. We don't focus too much on video, more so the audio side of it. One last thing people may wonder is, what the heck is that? That's just a spinny wheel thing. Basically what you can do is you can write on it funny things you can talk about. We have yet to do that. We've only done a couple episodes so far, and yeah, we actually, strangely enough, we're moving out of this office pretty soon, so
this video had to be made so you can at least see how I set it up, and then we'll make another video showing the next podcast room as well. So I hope that video brought you some value as far as how to set up a podcast, what you need, the couple main things you have to start with. There's plenty of options online. The main things you need obviously is the mixer. You need to have a microphone and a place to record everything. So you can either record directly into the Rodecaster, or you can hook up a USB, and then from your laptop you can pull all the audio wherever you want it to go. And then that's how you can edit all the post-processing through whichever software you want. I use OBS. It's a great software. It's free, simple to use. It's for pretty much any kind of audio you can imagine. But if that video brought you value, please go ahead and thumbs up the video. I hope that you enjoyed this one. All the links are below for all the products, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.